Welcome back to Just Railroading. Alright everyone, so I finally got the Prairie Freight set. Finally went on ahead and got it. I've actually had this since Thanksgiving, but I just haven't been able to make a video on it due to, well, other things. But I'm going to get around to it, making this video real quick. Show you guys what you're going to get if you do decide to get this set. And we're also going to compare it to the post-war counterpart, just for fun. So let's get into it. Alright, so I've got the insert slid out of the box, and I forgot to mention this. I love that box. Like, that is the coolest thing they could have done. That is a old picture out of the original, I think 1947 or 48 catalog that the 675 came in. So that's pretty neat that they took a call back to that. But so we've got the box open. Right off the bat, we've got all the freight cars. So you've got your gondola with barrels, the tank car, the caboose, the tender, remote, power pack, extra drive tires, and smoke fluid. Alright, so under that thing, you'll find your manual. Shows you how to do the traction tires and stuff, which it's not really a big deal. You just take the drive rods off. And here's the main thing, the 675 Locomotive. I've already had this engine out. I've already ran it. I've already run all the cars. I did that the first thing because I couldn't wait to this video. So, in the box, you have your track. You're going to have 2 straight tracks, 1 power pack track, and 1 accessory track. And then 8 36-inch curves. Let's go ahead and get this locomotive out and take a closer look at it. And there's the post-war, and here is this one. So, I mean, they look identical, you know, as far as appearances. But that's about where it ends, the appearances. This engine is 100% different in every way than this one. And I thought, you know, maybe they'd be a little similar. They're not. They're completely different. I was thinking back, you know, on this original here, I thought, well, maybe they'll use a metal frame with pickups and gears, and then just have a DC motor with a circuit board in here, and, you know, and have it kind of like the original ones. And they didn't do any of that. They basically made a whole completely different drive. In fact, only the back wheel's driven. The front 2 only run off the rods. I'm not a huge fan of that because it you know, it actually puts more reliability on these loose rod bolts and things. But, you know, and even the trucks, even this stuff is different than that one. It's close, but it's different. It has the same mold, but that's where it pretty much ends, mold. The front pilot wheels, they look the same, but they're shorter. If you can see that. And it does not have a pilot that comes off like the original one. It is completely made together. I don't know how well you can see it. But there's the seam that would be on the original one. It is a solid casting. Now, it does look like the steam chest comes out, which I guess it has to. You still got to be able to get this piece out of the way. But as far as everything else goes, it looks like this part actually stays to the drive wheels. But still a pretty nice looking locomotive, I must say. It definitely looks the part, you know. But still has the bell, you know, the grab irons. These grab irons have little plastic things, whereas these had basically a garter pin. There's no screw in the top of the boiler like there is on the original one. This one's a much smoother finish, of course, because someone took some time and actually made it look nice, whereas this one was just belt sanded flat, and they went with it. Of course, this is an original 47. This was, you know, based more on the newer 675 that they come out with front pilot wise. Still have 2 marker light jewels, just like the original ones. I think that's plastic. Yeah, front face is made out of plastic, because that's moving. Of course, the original one's die cast. But let's go ahead and look through the cars and compare them to post-war, just for fun. Alright, so I figured we'd start with the caboose. One thing I do like about these, they have original post-war trucks. It is identical to like the more modern post-war era trucks with the little thumb tab on the side. Only way you can pick that up. There's a post-war, and then there's the new one. It is pretty much the same exact thing. Even the pickup roller one is the same. You can see that cut out. But I don't really know which one they were basing it off of. I guess this one, because it has the same number. But this, of course, is a 10 plate. Yeah, it is. See? Yeah, it's the same number. That's neat. Of course, the body is this one, though. This is the body. Of course, completely different. Mostly plastic, you know, plastic frame. The only thing metal on this one is the trucks. This one, of course, has a stamped steel frame, die cast chimney, has the toolboxes on the side, you know, metal handrails, ladders. You know, it's night and day as far as construction is concerned, but you can see where the idea came from between all of these making this one. Alright, so this gondola is one that they never made in this size back then. The only one that they made that long was the New York Central one, which is this one, 6462. So, you know, that to me, that's kind of a strike in my opinion, because they should have made it like this one here. They should have made it exactly like this one, because it's got the number 347000. And it's literally got the same exact writing. Even the small writing is the same. So I don't know. I don't know why they chose to change that. Even the build date is the same. If you see that, I think that's pretty neat. But obviously, you know, that's the smaller size gondola. So to me, they should have made them a little like this. Now, I do not have a tank car to compare this one to, because I didn't even know these existed. I just assumed that it might have been one like that big one. But it's a 3-dome. This is just a single dome. But I saw one of these on eBay, and they're made out of stamped steel, kind of like that caboose. But just like the other cars, you know, original post-war type trucks. Well, I forgot to mention on that gondola, it does have a plastic insert in it that you can take out for those barrels to sit in. But, you know, I don't know why they went with plastic, clear plastic, but they did. These are nice cars. Like, these really are. Don't take what I'm saying meaning against them. They are nice cars. This one looks really good. That one looks good. The caboose is really, really nice. You know, it's nice, but to me, they could have gotten it closer to the original post-war stuff, you know. Like, they could have made that caboose out of plastic. They could have made that gondola short like that one. They could have made this Sunoco tank car like the older two dome ones. But they didn't. They kind of changed it up a little bit. But it's still not a big deal. They still look pretty good. The last thing I wanted to compare was the tenders. So I noticed this tender has bigger letters on it than the original one. The original one was thinner, of course. But the shell is actually identical in a lot of ways. It still has the 4 screws that holds it on, just like the original tender does. It has the trucks. It even has the truck for the cutout right there. I guess they probably made them all that way, but you know, it looks pretty good. It's close. It's a close thing. Now, I'm not too happy about this. I've heard a lot of people talk bad about that. To me, Lionel just needs to make a 2-piece plug it together. Or they need to go back to their old days and just have the sound in the tender by itself, and then just have the engine be an engine. You know, I don't really know what they need to change. They need to change something about that, because I've heard a lot of people say those break and give trouble. I'm hoping this one never does that, but if it does, I will fix it. Alright, so here's the train on the track. And I went on ahead and set up a little loop of fast track. Now, this is not what comes in the set, but I had enough to make me up a small little oval track real quick. I do have a ZW, or I don't even know what this thing, a Z80 transformer here, just to run it, because I am going to run something else in a minute to strike up an argument. So let's go ahead and get this thing rolling. Alright, so you can hear that sound that they make. Cut on our remote. Alright, so I think we'll do some sounds first. Here's the whistle. Now, I like that whistle. That whistle sounds great. Here's the bell. Now, I have went through and used the app and kind of changed some things around so they're not default anymore. Crew talk.
This is engine 675. Let's get this train rolling. 675 to conductor. Prepare to couple up. We'll grab some cars from the siding and be ready to move. All freight loaded and secured. Ready to depart.
Alright, that's it. It only has three crew talks. Alright, so let's hear the horrific chuffing. Alright. It only has three crew tops there too. Alright, so here's my thoughts. I do not like the chuffing, because it only literally does one rotation of the wheel and it chuffs. Locomotives are one strokes basically, so it has a chuff at each back and forth stroke. Now, I know this is a model and it's the cheaper model. It's not a legacy, but still, you kind of expect something a little bit better than that. But all in all, I think this is a nice set. Would I buy it again? I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence on it, honestly, if I would buy it again or not. It is neat. It is kind of a neat contrast between the original and, you know, the new one. But I'm going to show one more thing, and I'll get you guys' opinion on it. So this is a locomotive I got when I was a kid, like 2004. It has rail sounds. Basically all rail sounds is, everything's in this tender. Now you do have to have a 9-volt battery or the sounds will cut off and on intermittently if there's a dead spot on the track. So that's the only downside to this. But they have the sounds nailed with this. The only thing that I like about this is the ability to change things. Couldn't change anything with these. They were conventionally controlled only. But they're simple. I'll let you guys take a listen to this thing. Alright, I cut the track power off, now it goes dead, but that's because it don't have that 9-volt battery in it. But here, listen to the chuffs now. Yeah, it went dead there, but dead spots on the wheels. I need to clean it, but yeah, I need to clean it and put that 9-volt battery in it and it would work. But you can hear it a little bit. You can hear the chuffs, how they're actually in rhythm with the wheels, with the back and forth motion. That's where they have failed on these. They failed on the sounds because of that simple thing. Now, I'm not disappointed with this model. I'll run the heck out of it. Matter of fact, I'm fixing to put it up here on this upper loop and let it run. Because I want to hear it run. I want to see it run. I want to put some post-war cars behind it. But, you know, that's just my opinion. They need to take a step back or two and start making this with this and not this. Because, I mean, that's their roots. They did that for over 100 years. They need to go back to it. This stuff's cool. Yeah, it's neat. Yeah, it probably gets the kids involved more. But for longevity, I guarantee you this right here will not hold up as long as this one or any of these. They need to get back to their roots. That's all I'm going to say. Hope you guys found this video helpful or informative. That's just my opinion, of course. If you like these newer sets, that's great. I like it. I don't hate it. But I think they could have... They were here, and they could have been here, but they were here. You know, with this set. They were that close to making it really cool, and they kind of failed. They did bring back the 675, though, and I'm glad they did that. That's a nice everything. Alright, everybody, so I did finally put the thing up on the upper track. I've been running a little bit. Don't take anything I said to heart whenever I was kind of putting down some of the things that they did, because I do truly believe they did do a really good job bringing all that back. Those trucks, especially, those look really, really good. But, you know, I just think they did improve upon the chuffing mechanism in these Lionchief engines. But, you know, it just, to me, they could have made it correct, and they didn't. And you know I'm used to this older stuff because I've got a bunch of it, and I do have some Lionchief sets. I've got the Texas Special, and I've got the Santa Fe Super Chief. So you know I'm no stranger to Lionchief. I'm kind of know, you know, I think they're pretty good. I don't mind this set at all. I think it was a pretty good set, pretty good quality set for the money. A little bit more plastic than I'd like to see, but you know, for the time. And that's a really cheap set, honestly. That set right there, the New York Central Flyer, whenever I got it, I paid, I think it was close to $300 for it at the time, and that was 2005. So it's either 2004 or 2005, I'm not sure. But, you know, that was a good chunk of money for that time. So, you know, that's 20 years ago, and there's one now for, you know, 300 and something, brand new with remote control. Of course, I think you got a lot more usable stuff when you got these. You know, you got an actual transformer, and I've still got the transformer, and I still use these transformers because they're pretty nice transformers. But, you know, there's not a lot of difference between the two sets as far as quality. Like that one is the cheap entry-level Locomotive. Now this is the real money right here, these tenders. In today's market, you can really get one of these. They cost about $200 now, which I don't know why, but they're not cheap. These sound of or rail sounds tenders. But that one just needs cleaning. That's why it was cutting out. Usually works pretty good. This track's kind of dirty too. These curves, a lot more dirtier than my table. So don't let that fool you. It does sound really good, I think. But I'm not trying to put them down. I think they did a pretty good job bringing that set back. There's room for improvement, yes, but I think they did pretty good. Well, let's run this thing up here and see how it looks. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm sorry if I was maybe painting this in a negative light. But, you know, I think they could kind of improve on it a little bit. And, you know, I'm not upset with my purchase. I think it was pretty neat. It's neat to see a modern remake of an original classic, you know, like this. It's kind of neat to see how they redid it. You know, the original Lionel K4 has kind of been reborn, but it is a pretty neat locomotive, pretty nice set. You know, they took a lot of pride in it, I can tell. But thank y'all for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.